everyone and welcome to the channel.
Today we're going to be making a traditional British dish, fish and chips, but with a healthier twist by using our Ninja Crispi air fryer.
So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, we're going to start by prepping our chips. What you're going to need for that is a potato. You can leave the skin on or you can peel it. We're going to leave it on. You're going to also need a bowl of cold ice water, a pinch of salt, and obviously a chopping board and a knife. So let's cut the potato into chips. I'm not going to go too small. I'll just make them slightly on the chunky side, but not too chunky. And as we cut them, we're going to add them to the bowl of ice water. What that's going to do is it's going to get rid of some of the starch for us and ensure that our chips are going to be nice and crispy. Okay, now the potato is nice and cut in the bowl. We're going to add a bit of salt to that and we're going to let that sit while we prep the rest of the ingredients. Okay, now we're going to make the tartar sauce because you can't really have fish and chips without it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some Greek yogurt. We've swapped the mayonnaise for Greek yogurt to keep the fats a little bit lower and make the whole recipe a little bit healthier compared to the traditional deep fried stuff. I'm going to put a few tablespoons of that into a bowl. And for best results, what you could do is make the sauce about a day or so ahead of time. That way, all of the ingredients will get combined nicely and give the sauce much more flavor. Okay, to the yogurt, we're now going to add some finely chopped shallot. We've chopped half a shallot on here. We're not necessarily going to add all of it. We're going to go by taste. I'm going to add some finely chopped dill, fresh dill. You could use dry if you haven't got fresh. Dill goes in. Now I've also got some finely chopped capers, in they go, as well as some finely chopped dill pickle, in it goes. And now I'm going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard, about half a teaspoon or so, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper as well. And now we're going to give everything a good mix. That already smells really nice. And now we're going to give it a quick taste test to see if it's okay, if it needs anything else. Ooh, I like that. That's perfect. Now the sauce is ready, we're going to put it to the side and we're going to get cracking with prepping the fish. Okay, now we're ready to do the fish. We've gone for cod this time because it's the best for fish and chips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the packaging and then I'll be patting it dry. Okay, I'm going to use some kitchen towel and I'm going to make sure the fish is nice and dry. So now the fish is dry, what I'm going to do is put some salt on both sides of it and let it sit for a couple of minutes while I prep the ingredients for the next step. So salt, and flip it, salt the other side as well. Okay, now I've got 3 bowls, so we're going to follow a 3-step process. We're going to do flour, egg, and then breadcrumbs. Step number 1, I'm going to prep the flour. You can just do plain flour if you'd like, not going to be too much. And now I'm going to add some paprika to the flour, not too much, and also some salt and pepper. And we're going to give everything a good mix, make sure it's all combined. Okay, that looks about right. I'm going to put that aside. Next, got 1 egg. And I'm going to quickly whisk that up a little bit with a fork. Nothing too crazy, we just need a nice combined mixture. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to add some breadcrumbs to another bowl. We're going to do 2 coats of the breadcrumbs. Now the fun begins. We're going to coat the fish in flour first. Just going to make sure that any additional moisture that's been drawn out by the salt is removed. Now, slight change of plans. Because it's a bit too big, I'm going to cut the fish in half. About there. Gonna need to make sure that all the sides are nicely coated in flour. Now, next we're gonna go to eggs. And again, we need to make sure it's nicely coated all around. Once that's done, I'm gonna drain off the excess egg and we're gonna move to the breadcrumbs. And again, make sure everything is nicely coated in breadcrumbs. Flip it gently. And just because we want that crust to be just a little bit thicker and crispier, we're going to repeat the last 2 steps. Back in the egg goes. And the other side. And again, we're gonna drain off that excess. And now back into the breadcrumbs. Now we're ready to season the potatoes. So I've drained the water and now I'm going to use some paper towel to make sure they are completely dry before we add any seasonings to it. I'm going to add some paper towel to a bowl, put the potatoes in, and we're going to make sure the potatoes are nice and dry. Now the potatoes are nice and dry. I'm going to go ahead and spray them with a bit of oil. And then give them a nice little shake to make sure they get coated on both sides. If you wanted to, you could add a little bit less oil, but since we are just using a spray, it's not using too much, and also it's gonna help them get that nice and crispy outside and soft in the middle. I'm just gonna go very basic with the potato, salt and pepper. And just another shake to make sure that seasoning is nicely distributed. That looks great. Now let's bring the Crispi over. Okay, now we are ready to cook. We have got the large Crispi container and a pair of silicone tongs. I'm going to add the potatoes in first. And I'm gonna push them to one side of the crisper plate. And now, before we add the fish, I'm going to give it a light spray of oil on both sides. Flip it and spray it on the other side as well. We're gonna pick it up and place it next to the potato. Now we're going to add the power pod on top of the container. We're going to select 22 minutes and air fry mode, and then we'll let it work its magic. Now we are done cooking. Let's check it out. Oh, yes. The potatoes are looking very nice, and so is the fish. Let's have a little look. Ooh, it's very hot, very soft on the inside. They're not super crispy on the outside, but they have got a little crunch. And the fish looks really nice too. Nice and crispy on the outside. And now we're ready to play it up.
So that was us making some delicious, crispy, air-fried fish and chips using our Ninja Crispi.
If you'd like to see what else the Ninja Crispi can do, check out these cookies we made.
Thanks for tagging along, and we'll see you again on the next one.